Hello, and welcome to the Corn Corner podcast. I'm Cam Wren, and I do not give Facebook or any entities associated with Facebook permission to use my pictures, information, messages, or post, both past or future.
I'm Cam Damage, and do you have cruelty-free French fries?
And today we are talking about something that is squirted on lettuce.
That's the go-to?
That's what people know this as.
The mental image. Well, we're gonna get right into it because that's not where I go.
Hey, we're gonna get right into it.
Let's do it.
So this is an item. You know it. You'll see it in your grocery stores around the world, potentially. It can be put onto salads. Ranch dressing is the item in question here.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say before the intro was that like when I think of ranch, I don't think of salad.
What do you think about?
Like that, like chicken wings or anything else. Like if I'm having a salad, there is a 0% chance that I'm like, yes, slap some ranch on there. That's not what the goal is.
I guess the question is, do you know that ranch got its start as a salad dressing?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah.
Have you ever had ranch on a salad?
I'm sure at some point in life.
You hated it.
I just don't think that, like, hold on.
Listen, be honest with us, okay? Because here's the thing. I have seen many people eat ranch. I've seen people enjoy it. And yes, I do have it on other things, I still do have it on a salad from time to time because I think it's fun.
It's like a house salad is what you would get with a ranch situation. And I am just rarely getting a house salad. Like I was a Caesar salad person, or, it was never, the point of salad is to, hypothetically, you're eating something healthful.
Yeah.
And nutrient rich. And to get a salad and then douse it in cream is like obscene to me.
It is weird when you think about what ranch dressing is. I mean, canola oil is a big part of it.
Yeah.
And it is
milk.
Yeah. A good ranch has all those kinds of things in it. I don't know. I look at a Caesar salad to me as kind of a fancy little auxiliary type of salad. You know? That's the
I
thing.
guess.
It's not
like,
it's
yeah, ranch house salad is the base model.
Yeah, or Italian's kind of base model too. Now, this episode is all focused on ranch dressing, but I do want to take a quick little jaunt into a Russian dressing.
Now, is that the same as Thousand Island? I don't even know what a Russian dressing is, I don't think.
I think that they are similar, but not the same. I can't expand on it, but I don't think that they're the exact same thing, but I think that they're similar in practice. The main question here is, have you had French dressing?
No, I don't. Hold on. Now I gotta look up all these things.
French dressing, I used to see it all over the place. It's kind of sweet. It's red. It's very weird. I don't like it.
Okay, so Russian dressing is similar to Thousand Island. It's just mayo, ketchup, horseradish, pimento, chive, and spices. And Thousand Island is all those things, but then like lemon juice, Worcestershire, eggs, tomato puree. There's a lot more going into Thousand Island, or the Thousand Island one, actually.
There is a restaurant in Seattle that has a wedge salad that has a Thousand Island dressing on it. And it's my favorite salad I've ever had. And I think that when you make a good Thousand Island dressing, it's very good.
This is the best. I'm sorry. French dressing is made of oil, vinegar, sugar, and other flavorings with the coloring derived from tomato and often paprika. It exists on a spectrum between Russian and Catalina dressing.
Well, what
the
is?
fuck is Catalina dressing?
Tell us what Catalina is. Look that one up.
Hold on. We gotta go to the Wikipedia article.
There's a lot of these kind of red pink dressings that are all kind of the same but different.
Most Catalina dressings are made with a blend of ketchup, vinegar, sugar, and oil. So it's a poor man's French dressing.
Okay.
I think what that sounds like to me.
It sounds like a Catalina is a French dressing, just a variation.
It's like
the opposite.
They're on a spectrum, as we just learned with Wikipedia.
Wow.
So like the spectrum being, I don't know, I guess we'll start at Catalina. So it's like Catalina, French, Russian, Thousand Island.
Wow. And now
that's what it seems like.
It's pretty funny that with the invention of the hamburger, we call the special sauce on a hamburger a Thousand Island in many ways.
Is it not, though?
I don't think it is. I don't think that like quote unquote like burger sauce. I think that I think it actually does.
We're talking Big Mac sauce is what we're talking here. Like if you're just to like label it.
I think that the main thing here is like, we call it special sauce.
There's a lot going on here info wise.
Yeah, because chopped pickle in it, that's not in a salad dressing, but chopped pickle in that is going to be in a burger sauce. What are you researching?
So, although Big Mac sauce is similar to Thousand Island dressing, the two are not exactly the same. Thousand Island is made with ketchup, while most Big Mac sauce recipes contain French dressing for a tangier flavor. It's the inception of it all,
Big Mac sauce isn't really very red in color. I think that the color of Big Mac sauce is not appealing personally.
Yeah. Thousand Island dressing does have some of the same ingredients as In-N-Out burger sauce, mayo, ketchup, and pickle relish. So there is pickle relish in Thousand Island, but real Thousand Island is a little more complicated. Okay, well, I don't know.
I think that real Thousand Island
dissertation on this.
I think real Thousand Island is probably very, very good if anyone's ever had it. But what is in French again? Can you just please help us, and then we'll be done?
We should. No, we won't be done. This is so much more interesting than I thought it was going to be, because now I want to get all of these.
Yeah.
The pantheon of the pinks and reds.
Yeah.
Of dressing nature. And I want to like try them. Like maybe we'll make them all ourselves, which sounds like a little bit much effort wise, but I'm very curious.
Actually, I think that we should get like, I don't know who's the big dressing person these days, but I think it's probably
Newman. Newman's own.
Newman might be a good thing to start. I think we should get, or like French's or something. Who's the big salad people these days? Who's the big dressing people these days?
I don't know. French's makes me think of mustard. Creamy French dressing is made of oil, vinegar, ketchup, sugar, onion, and spices, plus mayo for creaminess.
See, this is so weird.
Mayo optional.
It's so weird to hear that McDonald's adds French dressing instead of ketchup, because if I was McDonald's, I would just, like for Tang, I get it. Tang comes from lemon, which is probably just like ascorbic acid, and citric acid.
Yeah.
So like, it's just so weird. Like, why would that article say like they put French dressing in? Like, shut up. No, they don't. Like they put
also Kraft dressings. That's a big one in the stores. Yeah.
We should go buy the Kraft Catalina and French and Thousand Island and take them all back and see the differences with them.
Any of them that are red, orange, or pink.
We'll get
them all.
French is pretty orange, I believe.
Also, I don't think of it as a creamy dressing. I think of as it's viscous. Certainly, it's not an Italian substance wise.
No, I mean I think of it as like it's really an emulsion. If you think about it, it's not creamy. I think when I think creamy, I think blue cheese. I think ranch. Yeah, because it has literal cream in it. But it's just a heavy emulsion, really.
But there is creamy French.
Oh, it does creamy French. Creamy French probably has some sort of...
Has mayo in it.
A fake dairy in it, yeah.
Yeah. But then there's California French. God, this is
But
wild
see, the
stuff.
idea of creamy French having mayo in it, though, really, because all mayo is oil and egg. So, and French dressing has oil in it. So it's really just adding egg to your French, and then you get a creamy French. What's a California French? What's in that?
Oh, I should have done the research before this, but I didn't know where this was going to go.
It's hard.
I feel like Catalina is just a different way of saying California French because Catalina is in California, but
I
call me
mean,
crazy.
I know Catalina's an island. Maybe they made the dressing.
They're just throwing words in here.
Yeah.
Ken's California French style dressing is a classic red Catalina style French. They're just saying stuff. You're just saying stuff.
Also, Ken's read the beginning of it. It's Ken's. Read the beginning.
Ken's California French dressing is a classic red Catalina style French.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I thought that this was saying that Ken's dressing was saying something like, we make the classic dressing. And I was like, fuck you, Ken. You don't make anything classic. You haven't made any of this. Ken's come into the game and started making items. And that's fine by me. I don't have any issues with that. But don't try to say you've made some kind of dressing. Anyway, it does sound like he's crediting Catalina and, But anyway, what are the ingredients in a California Catalina?
It's just the same as Catalina, where it's tomato, vinegar, paprika, and then like the other stuff that's just that's a normal, like oil, whatever, French dressing, whatever.
The thing.
What are the 5 types of French dressing? They're talking about the mother sauces. That's not dressing. I don't know why someone would ever refer to these as the French dressings. Like hollandaise is not a dressing.
Yeah.
But can you imagine?
God.
That's sorry. No, when I worked at Damon's Bar and Grill in Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, people would get mayo as a salad dressing.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
How would they apply it? How does that work?
Just, slap it on there, and they would dip fries in butter too.
So you would bring out like melted butter, or you bring out
like the whipped butter?
Yeah. How? Yeah. At Damon's, would y'all whip it yourselves?
We whipped it good.
Stop it.
No, it was bought like the huge things of whipped butter, and then you serve it into little,
little things, little jars.
Yeah.
So I think a good ranch is one of the best things on the planet.
Yeah. I would agree.
Bad ranch is one of the worst things on the planet.
And it's interesting because I think with a bad ranch, there's like a mouth feel. Like that's a big part of it.
Oily. It's very oily.
Yeah, it leaves a film. Also, I will say that talking about ranch makes me think of the Hidden Valley packets. You know what I mean?
I feel like we were talking about these recently, but one of my favorite things to do is to put that packet on some tater tots.
Yeah. I've never done that.
You should do it ASAP, because you take a big bowl of your crispy tater tot, and then you take your packet and then you sprinkle it in the bowl and you around, and you can eat those tater tots, and they have a little bit of a ranch situation going on with them. So good.
I pressed the wrong button. I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Hey, you know what? Everyone, you're looking great. All of our audio-only listeners, imagine how good Cam looks right now.
The light keeps changing here, and I don't want to be too blown out, but it just is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Who cares? Anyway, I haven't used those ranch packets in forever, but it used to be like for home fried chicken and stuff like that. That was the go-to.
How did you do that?
It's like shake and bake, but you just use the seasoning. Like when you make the breading.
Yeah.
You put the ranch packet in the breading.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's banging.
Wow. I would honestly really enjoy that.
We should do it sometime. We're going to get all the dressings and make our own chicky tenders with the ranch.
One of my biggest issues with the dressings is that they are generally too sweet.
Yeah.
Always too sweet. And it's weird because I know the American palate likes sweet things, but it seems weird that they're so sweet.
I feel like with salad and stuff, it needs to be more salty. Like you don't want, or like
Yeah.
vinegary, whatever. So it's cutting.
What kind of salad dressing would your dad order going out places?
Pepe did not get salad.
Yeah, but when you go somewhere, there's a side salad that comes along with the thing.
It would probably be like blue cheese or ranch.
Would your mom get side salad sometimes?
I think it was all Caesar salad was what the fam did. Like there was like a phase of like, I know I've talked about this on here before, but like one of our California trips with my sisters when I was younger, the two of them brought girlfriends with them. So it was like a gaggle of girls and shit. And everyone, everywhere we went, got Caesar salads. Like anytime we went out to eat anything like that, it was like Caesar salad, like chicken Caesar salad. And that was like,
wow.
I don't know why but that was just what we did.
This kind of leads into a question I have where was food trends blow my mind. Yeah. I feel like Caesar salad was a food trend because I remember finding the Caesar salad as well at Outback and getting it and it being like my favorite part of the adventure. Now,
the Outback adventure, the walkabout.
Was there a trend where people started getting Caesar salads?
I feel like yes. Like they became very present. And then there was like, now we have the movement of like the kale Caesar salad, like the vegan Caesar. And a lot of places have like that fancy, like $18 kale Caesar salad, whatever.
I two thoughts. I love the kale Caesar salad. But also I think that the kale trend has died. The kale trend was massive. It hit hard. Yeah. But now, like, I think the kale trend has gone away. But I will say, as someone who I did get sucked into the kale trend and did a lot of kale, and it's bad. It doesn't taste good, but I ate it. But now, the kale Caesar salad is phenomenal because it goes well with that bitter lettuce.
And they always have like the nooch on it, like the nutritional yeast and stuff.
Yes. Nutritional yeast is one of the best things. That should be used more in a restaurant.
Yeah, I agree. But don't overuse it. Fuck up your microbiome.
Really?
Yeah. It's yeast.
Okay, so here's a thought. Ranch has become more of a dip than it has a dressing. Mm-hmm. It didn't start this way.
Yeah.
When did this happen? Why did it happen? What generation did it? Because I wonder if the generation before us feels as if people have started using ranch as a dip as well. But I feel like it kind of happened. Here's my big question, people. And we're finding the question as we speak. But when I was in college, I think I started seeing people dip pizza in ranch. The question is, I think my pizza consumption went up in college and people like to dip things. So ranch is an easy dip. But so I think people were probably doing this way before. But was Papa John's giving out ranch dressing?
No. So like, I feel like Papa John's always did. I mean, they had the garlic butter stuff. I feel like it was other places that did that. Like Domino's would have ranch dressing or Pizza Hut or something in like the little, 2-ounce things. Yeah. I do feel like it was our generation that not standardized, but expanded upon the dipping practices of like dipping fries in ranch or whatever, things like that. And it had just been the staple condiments previous to that. But also, I wonder how it is internationally, because like if you go to Europe, there's parts of Europe where dipping your fries in mayonnaise, which they have like a different type or whatever, is like the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at an Eater article, and the article is how dipping sauces for pizza became oddly necessary. America's biggest pizza chains have sold diners on ranch, garlic butter, and more for their crusts.
Oh yeah. Maybe it has to do with the mass market. Like how the crust is not good.
Yeah, I wonder if that's it, because eating the bones, never very fun. But when you get to dip it in a garlic butter, fun.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle
Eating
for
the piece
that.
of ribs. Yeah. But also, then it's like, what about chicken nuggies? It's all those other things that like, and then sorry, I'm just thinking of this stuff like all as we're going. But like, if I get chicken nuggets, I'm not gonna dip those in ranch generally. That's gonna be like a ketchup or like a tangy barbecue, whatever. But if I get chicken tenders, then suddenly ranch does enter the fold as more of a acceptable dipping thing because it's more adjacent to chicken wings, where ranch and blue cheese are the standard.
That makes sense. I was curious, like, about KFC or something like that, and when they started offering ranch, because I have a buffalo ranch I just found out about that became a permanent fixture in 2020.
It's good.
I'm sure it is, but
Yeah.
the it's weird because when I have chicken nuggets, I want ranch as a part of it, and I even bought ranch from Trader Joe's recently. And I got it home, opened up the ranch. It's this whole thing. Everybody was really excited about it. And it tasted like absolute garbage. It was disgusting. It was sweet, vile. And I had to like throw it away. Actually, I threw away that little bit and I didn't use it for my nuggets. I used barbecue sauce and ketchup. But what I started doing with the ranch is I put it with taco sauce. So it's like a kind of like a creamy taco sauce, if you will.
Yeah, if I may. But then this also begs the question, I just Googled it. Cool Ranch Doritos were invented in 1986. So that's like an alternate. Well, the Hidden Valley Ranch packets have to have been from like the 70s. Like they're pretty old.
Yeah.
So like ranch as a seasoning outside of dressing,
Yeah. It's also, when you said that Cool Ranch Doritos were made in 86, I thought to myself, and I'm like, I would never have guessed 1986 ever.
What would you have thought?
2001, 1997.
Okay,
but that's because I don't know. It's like I don't know. I think that's probably like when my memories kind of start is like. Probably around like 1996 is when like my core like memories start. So it's when I started interacting with like food and stuff, and like so it's like it's so funny to think about that because it's where my memories of the world start. So it's like to me that's where the world starts.
There's like it's fair, honestly.
It's
and also it does seem like ranch is an oddly modern thing. I'm like reading about the history of ranch dressing now. But ranch dressing itself was invented in the 1940s, which is like kind of crazy.
Yeah, and isn't it like mayo, dill, a bunch of like onion spice, garlic spice, but it's essentially buttermilk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It
was invented by what would it say? It was like plumber turned cowboy on a farm in Nebraska.
Why did he make it?
Oh no, he moved to Alaska.
Why? Why did he make it though?
Endeavoring to keep his okay, so he moved to a remote Alaskan bush as a plumbing contractor. So he's a cowboy turned plumber. Anyway, endeavoring to keep his work crews happy, he invented a new salad dressing. His he was like, I gotta keep up team morale. Let me get a hot new salad dressing out there for the boys.
Why don't we try that again? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what? God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
God.
That makes no sense. Oh my God, I'm sorry. This is such a boomer fucking. His success in plumbing enabled him to retire at 35 and move with his wife to California. Can you fucking imagine? Like, that's like in 2 years, I could be like, I pack it in, I did good. Like, there's no no way in this like world today. That's so funny. So searching for some livelihood to occupy his time, he purchased a ranch in 1956 and renamed it Hidden Valley Ranch.
Holy shit. That's this guy. You're blowing
Like,
my fucking mind right now.
So Hidden Valley Ranch is the ranch,
It's a
which
place.
I didn't know.
We can. Where is it? It's a place.
It's in San Marcos Pass.
That's not that far.
Is it not? Do you know where that is?
Maybe we should go.
Okay.
Maybe we should
But
go.
that is crazy because like no, there's no like Russian dressing, French dressing, like we were talking about, whatever. That's not like a thing that's like you can pinpoint the branding of it beyond like whatever the ingredients. But like Hidden Valley Ranch is like our ranch, and it wasn't like made by Kraft and then branded with a marketing team and an ad guy or something like that.
Yeah.
It was literally like this dude was working in Alaska and like wanted to keep his crew happy.
God.
And made this and then retired and then got a ranch called that and then like served the salad dressing to people that came over for dinner and then started to like be like, this is really something. And then made in 1957 made the packaged mix to make the dressing at home that began to be offered in stores.
It does really make you think that food is such a big deal with morale.
I mean, yeah.
Even
Absolutely.
on like really shitty film sets, I think that you should put a lot of money into your catering. Because when people are fed well, morale is up.
It's true. Kraft Foods and General Foods responded by introducing similar dry seasoning packets labeled as ranch style, and as a result were both sued for trademark infringement.
Good. Fuck them. What year was that?
Which part?
When they started doing the seasoning packets and they got sued and stuff.
Well, he did the seasoning packets in 1957, and then it was in the 70s that other people tried to do stuff.
That was a long time.
Yeah.
It was like 10-year gap or something between the lawsuits or when other people started doing it. That seems crazy to me.
I'm sorry, I'm just like reading. Okay, so then during the 1980s, ranch became a common snack food flavor, starting with Cool Ranch Doritos in 1987 and Hidden Valley Ranch Wavy Lays in 1994.
Wow. In the 80s is when that happened. And before that, how many I'd be curious about how many different flavors of like chips there were. Like, was a nacho cheese the main thing?
Yeah, nachos were the first Doritos, if that's what you mean. Hold on, I need to let Neptune.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'd like to take this moment to remind you about our Patreon. It's a great place. We posted a lot of stuff there, ad-free things. Also, we're on Twitch. And that's a really fun place.
And those are my dogs barking.
Listen, we are famous podcasters, but we also have a life. And sometimes that life will rear its head. But it seems like maybe we've subsided a little bit. Okay, so to get everybody back to speed, we're talking about ranch dressing.
I just had my mic off. Hold on. They're like going crazy.
So we're speaking about ranch dressing. For me, when I go to a restaurant and I know that they have really good ranch, I will order something on purpose to have the amazing ranch dressing. Maybe I'll even order a salad if I want that ranch experience. How do you feel, Cam?
Are you insinuating that there are restaurants that specifically you go to that are like, you gotta try the ranch?
Yep. 100%. Yes. 100%.
Where?
There's one in Culver City. I can't remember the real name of it because I would call it Uncle Vinny's, but that's not the name of it. The name is something, it's like another like family tree name. Like it's like Cousin Johnny's, but I called it Uncle Vinny's.
Yeah.
And they were a pizza place and they also had mozzarella sticks and they would give you a ranch, and the ranch was the best ranch I've ever had.
Do you think they made it in-house?
Absolutely, they made it in-house. It was so good. And
That's such an investment.
I think it's worth it. I think it's fully worth it. I think that if you don't make your sauces yourself and they aren't they aren't bought things that are coming in the restaurant that are really good, you're failing as a restaurant, in my opinion. Because a sauce to me
big
is
words.
Yeah, but I think it makes sense though, because like, okay, ketchup obviously doesn't count. Mustard doesn't count. Mayo like doesn't count. These things are. If someone brought in something that wasn't Heinz into a restaurant, I think that the customer would be upset. They would be upset. There's multiple studies on this. Why like, quote unquote, luxury ketchups don't work in the market because everybody wants Heinz. Anyway, with something like blue cheese, ranch, marinara, they can be so bad, but they can also be so good. So it's worth it. And there's also not like a customer expectation on what ranch or blue cheese tastes like. Italian is maybe kind of hit or miss. Like pretty much like when you want Italian dressing, you want something really briny and bright and sharp. But with ranch, it's like there's so much room for improvement there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would argue that there is an expectation on what ranch and blue cheese are supposed to taste like, but I think that's like heavily based on your personal like fucking mine's Hidden Valley Ranch because like that's what I grew up eating. So like if it doesn't taste like that, or like feel like that or whatever, I'm like, what is this? Like
I wonder if it's more about like how like Heinz is connected to feelings. So
explain
when people
that.
like when people don't have it on a fry, it's like you grow up with like ketchup is like has like transcended a condiment. Like it has like emotions. Yes.
Yeah.
Like Coca-Cola. Whereas like Hidden Valley Ranch is something that people expect to taste, but it's like we put ketchup on everything. Like people put ketchup on eggs and that's a decisive thing. People put ketchup on like everyone eats ketchup across the world. Like it's this huge thing. Whereas like ranch isn't like that. So I think that's like, even though we have an expectation of what ranch tastes like, it's okay if it's different or improved upon.
I suppose. Yeah.
But when we improve upon ketchup, people are angry.
I think also, this is not exactly related to what you're saying, but it's another subject that you like, is that the ranch creation thing with the packets of seasoning meant that it was shelf stable, and they also formulated like non-refrigerated, like you could have the bottle of dressing that didn't go in the refrigerator.
Brilliant. Pretty crazy.
The seasoning packet thing is like big for that though.
To wrap up my thoughts about this place in Culver City, maybe name Uncle Vinny's, maybe not, I forget. Something that they do is they charge. It's like $1 per cup for ranch dressing, or it's like 50 cents a cup or something. But there's an upcharge for a side of ranch.
Yeah.
And I am weirdly okay with that because there's so much intention behind it and it's good and they do it. So I'm okay as a customer rewarding that and saying, okay, I'm fine with that. Versus like if they would just give me Hidden Valley Ranch, that's criminal. That's fucked up.
Yeah. So like if it's Domino's making you pay like $1 for the 2-ounce little packet thing of ranch, you're like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked. Like that, it should be included in the thing. And I think that like mass marketplaces like that can factor in like this cup is the right amount for this much pizza, and you get a cup for free, I think. So it's like an extra, I think, is like, I don't know. No one's like, oh my God, the Domino's ranch is so good, I need 7 cups. Like no one's doing that. But people do that with like Uncle Vinny's or something. So I'm kind of like okay with that, but I don't know.
It's also like, I like that there is such a thing. Like if I'm ordering some kind of food that I get to side of ranch and it's one of those like Ken's packets.
Yeah.
That you like rip the top off. I'm like, I'm going right in the trash. I'm like, I wish I had known because this is fucking bullshit and I don't want this.
What is that? Why is that? Because I feel the exact same way.
I think that Ken's is one of the most mass marketed for restaurants, like in food service.
Yeah.
Like it comes in those huge fucking, you know, jar container things. It's in like most commercial kitchens just because it's like probably the most cost effective thing to get. And they like got a corner on the market of like, you're on a flight and you get a salad. It's a little Ken's dressing, like that kind of stuff.
Do you think that it is because, and I'm searching this because I want to be, okay, yeah. So their branding is Ken's Steakhouse. That's their thing. Their name is Ken's Steakhouse, and they make dressings. So to me, I've always felt a little bit distrustful of Ken's because I've always been like, you're trying to do something that isn't in your wheelhouse. And then I think that restaurants buy Ken's because it's not what you can get in the grocery store. And the consumer thinks like, oh, this is a little bit nicer. This is a kind of a luxury style item. So they like it when they see that. You know what I mean? And you don't count because your husband's a butcher, like you worked in food service, so you're the exception to this.
I'm just Googling Ken's stuff, and the fact that Ken's is number 3 manufacturer of salad dressings in the U.S. behind Kraft and Wishbone. Like I don't even think about Wishbone.
I forgot about Wishbone.
Yeah, it's usually what the Italian dressing is like what you'd think of.
Yeah,
but that's like so weird. Like Wishbone is before Ken's.
It's pretty wild, honestly. Well, what are you going to be doing in the future regarding dressings?
What does that mean?
It means that going forward, we've learned a lot about dressings on this episode. Are you going to approach ranch dressing differently than you have in the past? Or are you going to kind of stay on the same trajectory with ranch dressing?
Maybe a thing like how I approach eating meat in general, where I in general try to avoid factory farm meat.
Yes.
And do more like precious things. Like that's why I eat stuff from like the butcher shop, because it's an actual works with real farms and stuff. You know what I mean? Real farms. And maybe I'll seek out a, nephew Tony's kind of establishment and be more precious with my dressing experiences. Maybe I'll start trying to make my own and dabble in that or something.
Well, I think that what we should do is we should do a dressing item where we bring all the dressings together and we try them all out.
Mm.
I think we should do it.
Are we buying, what brand? Are we doing Kraft? Are we doing like the best of, like, are we getting Hidden Valley? What are we doing ranch comparison?
No, I don't want to do ranch comparison. I want to do the reds. I want to do the red and pink comparisons. Catalina all the way to 1000.
You know, it always makes me think of like French and ranch dressing. There's a scene in Breaking Bad where they're at like the Madrigal like facility, the factory that like controls all the like Los Pollos Hermanos and whatever. And there's like a head guy who's tasting different dressings, and he's using the crowns, like the tater tot rounds, and the German guy is talking to him, dictating what they are, and he says French, like he's like talking about it's a mix of French and ranch dressing, and he says that we like just call French, like. And I can't not think of like that scene specifically with him doing the different like dippies and whatever.
It is so good, and I don't know, that's one of my favorite scenes of all of TV. Honestly, I'm so happy that scene doesn't have any of the cast of Breaking Bad in it.
Yeah.
It's all new people.
Yeah, it's like that one guy, and then he dies.
Yeah,
like it's like,
and it's so funny, and what a great way to look at what we just talked about, because he has all these crazy sauces, French, he talks about the hickory barbecue as well, and it's like really funny.
Yeah.
But then he just goes back to ketchup.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
the ketchup is the control in the thing.
It's oh god, that's such a good scene. Now I can't stop thinking about it, and
know.
the like the monotony of it, and how he's like facing his mortality, and all I can do is sit there and try these different like
Yeah.
dressings and mustard and shit, and he just does it.
Well, and at the end, he knows what's gonna happen, so he just eats a bunch of fucking tater tots and Heinz ketchup. Brilliant.
And also the tater tots are in like a fish bowl.
Yes.
Like they're in like some weird clear glass.
And doesn't
like,
he pick it up? Maybe am I making that up? But he like
I don't know.
he kind of
he
sticks his
fishes in it.
Yes,
Yeah,
he does it in a
yeah.
way that is like kind of disconcerting. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole anyway. Sorry,
God,
that's
that
all
is good.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think today we talked about a lot of really great things. I think that the main thing I want to try to, get through to you is if you're shucked or
if you're creamed.
Hey, the thing about it is, does it really matter when you think about it?
Does it really matter what kind of corn you are?
Look, I don't think it does. I think that what does matter, if you're shuck or cream, make sure that you are a kind corn.
A kind corn.
All right, we'll see you in the next one.